Yeah.
They're on? Thank you. Welcome everyone to our, we're up to June council meeting. Today we're here in Willima and we thank the people of Willima for their time here today. We've just conducted a community forum before this, and so it was quite enlightening and quite interesting to discuss the issues of Willima and sort of expand into a few more other areas as well. So it was all very good. If everyone could please stand, David, if you could please read the acknowledgement and opening prayer.
The West Wimmera Shire Council acknowledges the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet, pays respect to elders past, present, and emerging. Let us pray. Almighty God, we humbly ask your blessing upon this council, guide and prosper our decisions to the advancement of your glory and the true welfare of the people of West Wimmera Shire. Amen.
Items 4.1, have we received any apologies? Do we have any leave of absence?
None.
Does anyone have any conflicts of interest in any items on the agenda? If not, we'll keep moving. Written questions on notice. Have we received any written questions?
Received.
Verbal questions without notice. Is the gallery likely to ask questions?
No, the gallery is not at this stage, thank you.
If the gallery is not going to ask questions, we can go over that item on the agenda then.
We're trying to break the record here too, by the way.
I just had to put in an apology for Charlotte, who's had a funeral.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the delegates' reports. Just making a couple of notes here so I don't forget. So in the last month, I attended the Lockhart Racecourse and Rec Training meeting and heard what they're up to out there, so that was quite good, and they've got a good committee going and they're going to continue out there for a while. They've still got a number of issues again going on with the toilet block there at the border. Vic Roads had promised them to fix that, so we'll have to chase that one up for them, I think, because I don't know that one's been fixed yet as well, so I'm not sure who's aware of what's going on there.
Excuse me, I know it's not my place, but they've just brought the fencing down and also
It might be open again.
just got open this
Oh.
week.
We'll see how long the copper pipes last this fight then, because that's what I believe was the problem. Well, most other things there can be taken as read. There was a couple of things that hasn't made it onto here, and I had a meeting with Anne Webster, and it was her first meeting with a local government since she was announced as the Shadow Minister for Local Government. So that was a great honour for us. So we discussed a number of our issues. The number one issue we discussed was the issues surrounding the drought and the pipeline and ways we can get water into that part of the world. We also discussed quite a number of issues that are pressing for West Wimmera, such as what was happening in that aged care space and childcare, as well as the emergency service levy, of course, and it was quite interested in what was going on there as well.
Tim,
So-
what about Black Spot Round 8? Did that come up?
Yeah, we discussed mobile phone funding as well. Again, she was well aware of a lot of the issues that we have here, and she's been a big supporter of us over that time. And she's put a number of letter supports in for us for our applications in that area. I went to Edenhope to attend. Someone's going to have to help me with what they call that day. Cultural Fusion Day. So that was an event put on by Grampians Health where they had a number of interesting guest speakers. And I think one person spoke quite well about his past history. so again, that was really enlightening, and it was just good to hear everyone's stories and how they come to Edenhope and how they are contributing to the community there. And it's a real positive thing, and well done to those people who put that on. I also got roped into judging the street parade at the Kelpie Master, which is a bit of an unusual sort of thing, but it was quite a thrill actually to see their Willima's own Kim Dodson was in the street parade with the dog Banjo. So that was quite a good day out there. And on the way home, I called in Apsley and seen all the people there for the Apsley Cup, even though unfortunately the Cup ended up back in Casterton as well. But I understand from all the Apsley people, they all had a very good day as well. So that is all for me. Councillor Pretloff.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. As read, but I will just add to that I was waiting, I think you've forgotten that too, Tim, the official opening of the AFL lighting projects, both at Harrow and Kaniva. I think that was on the 5th. Anyway, attended both of these. It was good to see. Well, particularly in Kaniva, there were quite a few that the school were there representing, and quite a few different club people there. I think a bit early in Harrow, it was a very cool morning, so we did have a few there as well. So, and just supporting Tim there, as much as the Axley Cup was transferred, congratulations to the Axley community. As I don't know that it really affected things too much. We were down in Axley on the Sunday, and the place was buzzing. So I think it's a credit to the whole Axley community, actually, just what they've got going on there and how they lead in a community event and the whole weekend. So thank you.
Yeah. I did over Lighthouse, but I do have a comment on that one, actually. It was rather disappointing that the Labor member who was going to come up and open Lighthouse suddenly had a diary clash at the last second, and we couldn't attend, which was a bit disappointing because there was actually a fire truck just in case there was any trouble to control things. So anyway, Councillor Hicks.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. As read, except for a couple of comments, I also attended the Cultural Day in Hope, which was a pretty amazing gathering, probably 150 or 200 people there with music and guest speakers. It was a good day and well organised. My other comment is to do with the Western Highway Action Committee meeting, which was done on Zoom, and Brendan also participated. The main outcome of that is that all shires who are members of WAC have been asked to put in our thoughts, comments, submissions, if you like, to help update and develop a longer term strategy paper for WAC that we can use to put towards both state and federal government, not only for funding, but also to keep pushing the needs for repairs and upgrades to the Western Highway, the duplication, right from the border here through to Caroline Springs is really where it stops. But I think most of us are all aware that anything past Caroline Springs doesn't get any government attention, and the road is becoming really almost dangerous for the amount of traffic that it's expected to carry. And I think this strategy paper that we've been asked to co-develop should and will be an important document over the next 5 years that we can use to lobby government at all levels. So that, I think, it's planned to come up at next forum for discussion around this table, and then when everyone's in agreement, we will submit back to WAC for inclusion in the overall strategy. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Hobbs.
Yeah, so I attended the Kaniva Op Shop first birthday party with Councillor Hicks. And yeah, like I said last month, really good to see, because there's 5 brilliant community projects under the one roof with that, and nearly 30 volunteers in just under 12 months. The Kaniva lights, the AFL lights, I got to the Kaniva one, which was, I think that's going to be highly beneficial to both Kaniva and Harrow. I've attended 2 meetings. Just want to do a bit of a shout out to the Women Leading Locally team and the Australian Local Government Women's Association. I've attended 2 of their webinars just recently, and I just find that anything they put on is really, really good. It's interesting that both of those webinars featured around the idea of civility and just the abuse that a lot of people are copying and how to deal with it. The Emma Keeley, I attended that with Richard Hicks in Edenhope. That was, you know, there's a couple of people that turned up to that. Again, emergency service levy, that was, I think, the #1 topic. The Cultural Fusion Day with, there was 3 of us there, and of course David as one of the guest speakers. Brilliant day, and big shout out to Danny and everyone that organised that. Just so good to see that whole hall packed and people talking to each other and people sharing their stories. The maternal child health consultation that was put on yesterday, there was 14 women, 14 young mums who attended all of that, and that was a really, really good diverse range of mums from all demographics and surrounding areas that came to that. So that was, I thought it was very constructive, and it was a really good positive way forward.
Yeah, Councillor Houlihan.
Thank you. Pretty busy month. Had a meeting with the Connie Pavilion Volunteer Committee of Management in relation to the fact that they've got a pay rate. So flexibly looking into it would be good. Last Sunday, on Saturday night in Harrow, something that they ran an event, something that I thought would never ever work, but it was an under 10 disco. It was just incredible the amount of people that were there. It was between 60 and 70 under 10s there. Just trying to educate kids that they don't grow up and all they can do is look at their phone. Then on Sunday, they had mental health forum, the Unbreakable Farmer day. They started cooking at 11, and the day we finished having tea at about 6 o'clock that night. Just a credit to the people that ran it. 2 groups that were heavily involved were the Harrow Bush Nursing Centre and the West Wimmera Shire staff. So I say thank you to those groups. Just like those, that should be taken back to the Shire offices, please, by one of the staff. It's a sort of event at the moment could just save us a life. It was exceptionally well run, and I'm very proud to say that I was there. The opening of the lights in Harrow. Tim's already mentioned, but it was very disappointing to see that the situation we're in, that the Labor government weren't there, weren't represented. Exceptionally disappointed. These new lights that are gone in are LED, and they're the same lights that they've put in at the MCG. And if you have a look now at a game of AFL football, you look closely and you'll see the players do have shadows, and that's while these LED lights, as against metal halides, are about half the price to run, if not cheaper than that. But to have our lights better and not the shadows, we need more fittings per pole. We had a loss of life. Scotty Isles, his partner, works in the office in Edenhope. Very tragic. Young fellow, 51. Basically, his heart stopped. Scotty, very well known throughout the district, and it was a huge funeral. But deepest sympathy to the family. The Apsley races, I went to the races at Casterton, just to support the lorry places, the presidents. There wasn't a lot of people on site, so I purposely made a decision to go there rather than as we were invited to go to the Edenhope race course. So I went down to Casterton. Yeah, it was an exceptionally well-run meeting between the Apsley Race Club and Casterton Race Club, and mind you, that is coming from somebody who doesn't know a lot about race, knows nothing about races. But in my view, it was well done to both bodies. And something that I will bring up too, one of your most successful football netball clubs, it's not a football club, it's a football netball club, in the last 24 years in state of Victoria, country Victoria, in the last 24 years, they've been 15 grand finals and won 8 of them. In the last 2.5 years, they have only lost 1 game. So congratulations to the Harrow Balmoral Football Netball Club and to the gentleman in this room who's just joined our staff, Dalton. Congratulations on your efforts.
Got to be asking for a pay rise next. We'll be co-funding their buy-in players.
And just at the moment, this emergency services, I believe if there's another meeting, we could have another meeting in Melbourne, we could wind up with no CFA, very little CFA, very few volunteers, because they're the ones that are being knocked about. As I've said previously, I've been getting on the back trucks for 61 years. Now, under this present legislation, I've got to pay to get on the back of a truck as a volunteer. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Tom. Just the one point you did make there, I think the entire council certainly offers our sympathies to Kelly and the family. And, we're all very sorry for her loss, and I believe David has already passed on those condolences. And, again, it's a real tragedy, and we are really sad to hear that news. We'll move to item 8, confirmation of the previous minutes.
Moved.
Moved as recommended.
Can't do both.
I'm happy to second that.
That is seconded by Councillor Pretlove. Is there any comment required from anyone? If not, we'll put it to the vote. All in favour? That is carried. Item 9, is there any business arising from those minutes? If not, we'll move to 10. Have we received any notices of motion?
I must make.
We'll move to the councillor forum record from
Moved.
the 7th of May. Moved by councillor Hicks. Do I prepare the second?
I'm happy to.
Seconded by councillor Pretlove. Any discussion required? If not, put it to the vote. All in favour? That is carried. I don't believe we've received any deputations or petitions. We have no CEO report. We'll move to item 14, 14.1, the community engagement policy.
So we're presenting the community engagement policy for acceptance by the council. Some minor updates to the policy around the wording and formatting, with one change. We are recommending a change from 28 days for community consultation to 21 days. This will allow community consultation to be conducted between council meetings and bring back to the next council meeting and findings from community consultation.
Anyone have any questions on the policy?
I'm happy to move to the officer recommendations, Mr. Mayor.
An alteration to number 2.2 on the recommendation.
What's that? I'll to alter that to take that out. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, to take
Yes.
the 21 days.
Because it's not our current policy, so.
Okay.
So with the alteration of point 2 being that he approves the community engagement policy to be circulated for public consultation, full stop.
Yeah. I'm happy to second that.
Have you second that? Does the mover wish to speak?
Just briefly to say, if this policy is ratified or after it's been circulated in the community, and if they are happy with the alteration of going from 28 days to 21 days, I think it makes for a much more streamlined process in the terms of conducting council business, and it fits way better within the council schedule of meetings and fora. And I do believe that 21 days for those in the community who are interested in reading any public documents should be sufficient for them to digest those documents and revert to council with any of their comments. So I'm very happy to move the motion.
Second wish to speak?
Just to support what Councillor Hicks has said, this is an overarching document and it just gives us guidelines and you know, no doubt it'll come up again and you know, whether it comes up sooner rather than later, who knows? And it's really, we're guided by this to help us in the depth and how we go about our community engagement. So, and like Richard said, the 21 days is really the main change, the only real change to the policy, and it will work better for council. So, you know, it just means that we can keep things moving and rather than prolong and have things sitting as long. So I do support this. Thank you.
Anyone else wish to speak?
Yeah, I was just going to support fellow councillors. And just want to also reiterate that I'd like to quote that this is very, you know, consultation is genuine and not tokenistic, and just that these words are adhered to. We were talking about that council is committed to offering opportunities for the community to contribute to decisions made by council, effective communication of information between council and community, ensuring effective community representation in the decision-making process, and that the decision-making is transparent and works in the interests of the community, considering diverse stakeholders, and ensuring effective community engagement planning.
Yeah. Anyone else wish to speak? No?
If I could just make one as a closing comment, just in terms
Well,
of clarity.
hang on, I'd like to make some comments
Oh,
first.
right, okay.
Just very quick comment, because I'm just going to make them clear why we are doing this. Every term of new council, you have to redo this, so that is why it's come up. It used to be 28 days by legislation. They've now removed that, which is a common sense decision. One of the few times the government's actually listened, and it will allow us to actually fit this into our council meeting cycles. Does the mover wish to sum up?
Yeah, thank you. Just in following on from what the Mayor said, it not only streamlines how council can conduct business, but it also means that we can be more responsive to the community rather than having to wait 2 months by the time we get a document out to the community and get it back and get it to the next council meeting, which would be a 2-month period. We can actually get a decision or get the community input, collate that and formalise the policy or whatever within or between 2 council meetings, 2 consecutive council meetings, which will certainly streamline the process and I think make us more responsive to community requirements. Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Put it to the vote then, all in favour? Or against? That is carried. We'll move to our council grants policy review.
So the council grants policy review was due for a 6-month review. And we've made one change, like some wording and formatting changes, and that change is remove the, sorry, remove the community support grant guidelines and the inclusion of the non-council owned community halls insurance guidelines referenced in the policy. Yeah, is there any questions?
Any questions?
I'm happy to move the opposite recommendations.
It's been moved, seconded by councillor Pritloff. Mover wish to speak?
Just very briefly, Mr Mayor, this is really a formality. Again, there's been a very, very minor change to one small part of the overall policy. As with the last discussion, the last policy discussion we had, this is really almost a formality that we need to have these policies. It's a requirement of council, particularly when a new council or newish council comes into being. And this is really ensuring that our processes are in confirmation with the government requirements and the requirements of our the local laws and the Act. I'd like to thank Dalton and his staff for preparing both these policy reviews. We have a lot of policies, and it's always nice to tick off 1, 2 or 500 of them. I'm very happy to move this one.
Second wish to speak?
Yes, similar, just to support councillor Hicks's comments, and you know, we have gone through this. It is the overarching document to to each of our granting programs that we have, and I think that while going through them, we have put everything out there, and there's a place where, you know, all the grants that we receive fit amongst all of this. So, but I'm sure that in time this will change as well, because you know, the minute something doesn't seem to fit right, the policies come back and we have to adjust to make things work. So it is a stipulation that we do have, that we have to have our policies to form our guidelines and frameworks. So I think this is the best that we've got at the moment, and it's good to have all of this so we can give back to the community. So totally agree with the policy and happy to support.
Anyone else wish to speak? Helen?
Yeah. Just going to support those comments too, and just to reiterate, like this is like the overarching framework that refers to community strengthening grant, community sponsorship and contributions grant, community quick response grant, business assistance grant, business streetscape grant, non-council owned community halls insurance grants, and support to community events guidelines. So I think it's really good.
Anyone else wish to speak? Who wish to sum up?
No, thank you, Mr Mayor.
We'll put it to the vote then. All in favour? All opposed? That is carried. We have no items on infrastructure development works. We have a hearing scheduled. Are there any late items of business? We have a confidential. With no further items, the meeting is closed.
Half an hour, not bad.
Okay.
Put it on in 5 minutes, but
Yeah,